Thanks for stopping by. It's Thursday, May 14th, 2020. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the Bigfoot hunt today. We talked to our local Bigfoot expert, Stu, and he said that they don't come out in the rain. And we are experiencing quite the rainstorm here in Pennsylvania. At least we were earlier today when the hunt was scheduled for. So we're gonna have to postpone that. And Stu said that he doesn't come out in the rain either, so that's fine. And he's gonna come back on the show later. Maybe one of the next weeks here and talk about some of his Bigfoot stories, which should be very interesting. He is, like I said, he's one of the local Bigfoot experts here. So, but we did go to the casting agency this morning and get a stunt double for Ricky. We were still planning to have the hunt. But it was kind of weird what happened at the casting agency. I gave him a picture of Ricky. I said, here, can you get me a black dog that looks just like this? We don't want Ricky to be in any danger while we're out there, hunting Sasquatches and Bigfoot and feet, whatever. So, this is the dog that they gave us. Come here, buddy. It's okay. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh. So he's a fine dog. His name's Reese. But I don't think he really looks like Ricky. I asked for a black dog and they gave me a white one. So, that's okay though. We have him for the day. So he's going to come on set here and help us explain these 5 names next to me and talk a little bit about some Bigfoot stuff. If you actually want to know, this is Ricky's brother. His name's Reese. Their names are Reese and Ricky. They're my parents' dogs. Every once in a while I'll borrow one of them for a couple hours just for fun. And that leads me to our 2 movies today. We have a bonus movie. So the first one is Tremors, as you saw on the schedule. That's in honor of my friend's birthday today. It's a fun movie about giant worms or snakes or whatever the heck they are. They live underground. Go ahead and check it out. And then the bonus movie is Talladega Nights, in honor of Reese and Ricky. So, I want to talk about some legends. So, the Bigfoot or the skunk ape, the Sasquatch, the grass man, sometimes they call him the wild man. All over the country, there's legends of this big hairy creature that lives in the woods, and he's mysterious and ambiguous. It could even be a she. No one knows. No one really knows. There's some pictures. Some are supposedly fake. Some are supposedly real. There's just a lot of mystery about it. So, they're all over the country. I think the first one that ever popped up was in 1958 in Humboldt County, California. That's supposedly where the term Sasquatch came from. It was in the Humboldt Times, and they had a few different articles about it back then. And a lot of times they'd call them wild men. They'd say, oh, a wild man was spotted today. And back then, it may have been common for someone to be living in the woods or kind of living off the land. Well, that's really not that common anymore. So they started as wild men, is what they would call them, then Sasquatch, then, the lore went on from there, and I'm sure it's even deeper than that. I mean, this is just basically what I was able to find looking through the media. And then in 1967, that's supposedly the fake picture that everyone's seen of the Sasquatch that's walking across the road. You see his side profile. That it's a famous picture, but supposedly it's fake, and that also came from Northern California. But there's Bigfoot lore here in Pennsylvania. There's Bigfoot lore in Oregon and Washington State, Florida. That's in Louisiana, Alabama. Even that's where the skunk ape and the swamp ape comes from. Supposedly, there's a Bigfoot type creature that lives in the swamps down there. So this is kind of an interesting thing to check out, and something I thought some people might be interested in, just because it is a local legend or some local folklore. But like I said, we had to cancel the hunt today because according to the experts, they don't come out in the rain, so that's fine. But I do want to go over these 5 names beside me because that's what I said each Thursday. Thursday is for thinkers, so we're just gonna kind of run down these names real quick, and I'll let you go. And I'll leave you with a quote like I did last Thursday. So Dan Aykroyd is the first one on my list. One of my favorite people that's ever existed. Obviously his work as a comedian and writer, producer, actor, director is very inspiring because he always had a vision, and he always he could do all parts of it. He could work all parts of his craft. But the reason he's up here though is because of his work in the occult. He didn't just write and act in Ghostbusters. He's out there looking for actual ghosts, and he does work. He writes papers. It's very interesting. He's into any type of conspiracy. He's keeps an open mind, and I love that about him. I think it's awesome. That's the same way I try to be. Always try to keep an open mind and just stretch your mind to new perspectives. The second one on the list is Katie Bowman. And speaking of stretching to new perspectives, she's the scientist who captured the first picture of a black hole last year in 2019. And I really believe that since that discovery, there's been a lot more that's come out about black holes. It seems like in the science journals and things that I follow online, there's more and more information about them now. And I think a lot of that was because of that very first picture that came out last year. And, it's hard to really tell what it is. It's just kind of this bright light in... I guess it's a hole that's sucking light. Black holes are very mysterious, but if you look at the picture, it's interesting. It's hard to tell what it is, but like I said, that's the first picture we've ever captured of a black hole. So definitely a big discovery. And then the third one is Tom DeLonge. Go ahead and roast me for that if you want. Even roast Tom, he probably deserves it. But I think his transition from musician to just creative personality to someone who's interested in science has been really inspiring. You look at him in his early days in the 90s, and he's writing Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch and just, fooling around up on stage without a shirt on and just being a goofball playing punk rock. And then you look at now, he has an academy called To the Stars Academy for science and creativity, and he promotes different artists and writers. He was even working with the government last year on different UFO research projects, and a lot of people rip on him for his UFO things, and it's all, like I said, it's all mysterious. I mean, I don't know that anybody really knows, so I just kind of take it for what it is, and I appreciate that he's looking into that stuff. I appreciate that he opens doors for other people. I think it's a really cool thing, and a neat transition to someone who wrote some of those songs that you remember way back that I couldn't ever repeat up here or anywhere probably. Number 4 is Katherine Johnson. She is the lady who inspired the movie Hidden Figures that I believe came out in 2016. And she's a mathematician that helped launch the space program and broke down a lot of social and racial barriers, along with 2 other women. That's what the movie's about. They're mathematicians who help out NASA. And she just recently passed away here in 2020 in February. So, definitely a big person throughout science and in history. And I remember watching Hidden Figures maybe 3 years ago. I really enjoyed it. I think you should check it out. I honestly was not familiar with the story before watching that movie, so maybe a lot of people aren't either, but definitely watch that movie if you get a chance. Hidden Figures. And then the 5th one is Carl Sagan. In 1994, he wrote the Pale Blue Dot, and he's an astronomer. Check out some of his quotes. Check out his books. Just someone who really will open your mind if you look into him. So like I said, I don't want to get into these too much. I'd like people to go and research some of them. I know I talked for a little bit already. But I do want to end you with a quote here from Dan Aykroyd. And man, I want to say, like, truer words have never been spoken. Except Reese is sitting with me, and he's a dog, so he might disagree with this quote. But listen, we must come to the point in time where we realize the concept of race is a false one. There is only one race, the human race. I mean, he hits it dead on. Totally. I know, you're a dog, dude. It's okay. We all love dogs. All right. Have a nice day. Thanks for stopping by. I gotta find my mouse again. Here, go ahead. Always lose that. Sit down. All right. Here we go. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. I'm gonna tell some party stories. Have a nice day.